Hi there! Today I'm going to show you how to build an automation that will apply an action template whenever you change the label of a card. We recently created this for a marketing agency where their clients were able to submit content requests and they could specify what marketing channel this would be for. So this dropdown is mapped to a label in Hive, and whenever there is a new submission, this will create a card in Hive. It will apply the label and the automation will apply the template assigned to this label. So for instance, for this specific label, I have the list of templates here, and this is the template apply, which includes the person assigned to, the first date sub-actions, and the approval sub-actions as well. Hi there, I'm Andres from Connex. We are an automations and integrations agency, and we can help you automate Hive. Feel free to book a discovery call with us to discuss an automation or an integration idea that you have. So let's go into the details of this automation. I have a list of templates here, and I have labels as well. You can edit the two going into your workspace settings. Then in Hive Automate, this is how the recipe looks like. Hive Automate is a platform that is based in Workato and allows you to automate everything Hive and beyond. So it allows you to connect your tech stack with Hive. In this recipe, we only perform Hive actions, and this is how the automation looks like. So the triggers after any new action or updated action. If I'm going to edit this, usually for the trigger, you need to select the app. In this case, it's Hive. Select the trigger new or updated record, and then connect your Hive account here. And this is how the setup looks like. So I'm triggering off of the every new action and or updated action as well. The fields I'm monitoring is the labels field. And here I'm selecting a specific project I'm monitoring, but you can let this recipe monitor any project in your workspace. Then the next action is to list all labels in Hive. And this is an optional step because I need to pull the IDs of the labels. You'll understand in the subsequent actions why. But eventually you can delete this action and this won't harm this recipe. So the recipe checks if the label corresponds to a specific one, and it applies then a template based on that label. So in this case, I'm checking if the label contains this specific string, then I'm going to apply a template for this specific label. So every label in Hive has a specific ID and it has a name. For us humans, it's easier to understand names, but for computers, it's easier to understand IDs. So whenever this recipe triggers, Hive Automate will have access to that label ID, and we can compare if that label ID corresponds to that specific ID that we know beforehand for each of those. So for instance, here I'm checking this Instagram ID, this for Twitter, this for LinkedIn, and this action run once will give me the list of IDs for each of these. Then finally, if this is true, then I'm going to add an action here to update the action in Hive. And again, the setup of this action is pretty easy. So you select Hive as the connector, the action is to update the record. You select your connection here, and then the setup will be to update an action object. The ID comes from step 1, and the rest you don't need to set up anything unless this action template, because we want to apply this template. That's it, pretty simple. I have more than one if statement because I have more than one template that I want to apply based on the labels. And that's it. Let me know if you need help implementing this recipe using the same link in the description below. Otherwise, if you get stuck, you can comment in the video as well. Cheers!